All right, guys, got a good one here for you. We are talking top 5 running backs for fantasy football 2023. So if I were up in the queue and I'm looking at running backs to draft, what order would I draft them in? Okay, so it's not necessarily consensus rankings. I don't do consensus rankings, and rankings won't help you. But for entertainment purposes and for practicality, I'm going to give you guys 5 running backs that I would draft if I saw them on the board in this particular order. And that's how I function, because rankings don't help you. If rankings help people, everybody would have won last year because they drafted Jonathan Taylor first overall after I specifically told you there'd be a decline. This channel is the game changer. I do not do what other people do. I stray away from the herd, and that is why I win. That is why Council Nation wins. That is why you guys are going to win. So it's very important, guys. This is very crucial. Please smash the thumbs up, help this channel to get out, and click subscribe, not only for the benefit that I make a living off this, and it really helps my channel because I'm out here grinding for you, but it's also genuinely going to help you because I created this channel so that you guys actually win. Everybody else, and I literally mean 99.9% of everybody offering advice, is copying and pasting rankings. That's not how I roll here. This is the line mentality. I'm here so that you guys win, and that's the bottom line because the counselor said so. All right, there we go. Now we've got the rant out. Subscribe, thumbs up, and below, drop a comment. Who is your top 5 running back? Who do you really love at the running back position? Let's make this super interactive. I'm going to dive into who the top 5 are and why they are top 5. We're going to dive into some analytics, some numbers, some situations, some scenarios. Very exciting. So buckle up, grab a drink, whatever your favorite beverage is. Mine happens to be water right now. It keeps me hydrated. So grab a beverage, chill out. If you're in the car, enjoy the drive. We're going to talk some running backs here, which is my favorite topic to talk about, okay? Now, if you haven't gotten the 16-round draft solution, use the code SMASH because you're going to smash your leagues. Secure the solution right now. I'm also giving away a signed by Jan Robinson helmet and sports card to everybody that's entered. Now, if you already got 60 rounds, relax. You're automatically entered. If you haven't, you're going to be entered for, of course, guys, the by Jan Robinson signed helmet, guys, and of course, the signed sports card. There's going to be probably more giveaways as well. So secure the 16-round draft solution, optimal players to draft in each round, sleepers, breakers, everything you guys need on a silver platter. Secure the solution, secure the championship. I've linked it below, and use the code SMASH to save. All right, let's dive into this. All right, number 1 running back, who actually we'll go 5 down to 1, okay? Because then we'll build anticipation to the number 1 running back, okay? Number 5 here. Now, this could have gone either way at number 5. I was thinking between 2 players, but I'm going to go here with Breece Hall. Now, hold on a second. You're like, let's calm down. Now, Breece on the consensus is sitting like 12th, okay? ATN is sitting ahead of him, which is ludicrous. We got Pollard sitting ahead of him, which is absolutely ludicrous. And we got Ramondre Stevenson sitting ahead of him, which is ludicrous. Breece Hall is a beast, bottom line. And the fact that the mainstream consensus and the consensus have ATN, Pollard, and Stevenson ahead of him is absolutely ludicrous. Now, again, I was torn on who my number 5 is going to be. I was debating between Saquon Barkley and him, but at the time of this recording, Saquon Barkley is having some contract issues. He doesn't want to sign a deal, and that may play into an effect into the season. We're still unknown, so I don't like unknowns. I like certainties. Now, that being said, there is some unknowns with Breece Hall in regards to his condition. Now, Joe Douglas, GM of the Jets, saying Breece is doing great. He looks fantastic. Coaches are saying that he looks great. Now, again, everybody kind of uses the Saquon Barkley as a timeline because when Saquon Barkley had the injury, the first year back didn't do well, and the second year after he did well. So everyone's thinking the same thing's going to happen with Breece. But understand that everybody is different, okay? Everybody reacts different. Everybody is different. Everybody's different. Breece is a little younger. And I really think that the Giants actually literally preserved Saquon Barkley that year. I think it was a sheer preservation thing with Saquon Barkley. So, the Giants weren't going to make the playoffs that year, so he's kind of held back. It's probably a mental thing as well. Either way, I like Breece Hall at 5. Now you're saying, well, Joe, that's crazy again, coming off this knee injury. Listen, the guy played 7 games last year. In those 7 games, he averaged 5.8 yards per carry, had 4 touchdowns. including the last 4 games he played. I think it was like week 4 to 7. He had a touchdown each one of those games on the ground. 463 yards on 80 attempts. And the guy, when he runs, he glides. He looks amazing. I mean, literally glides. He's explosive. He's amazing. And they drafted a guy named Izzy Akabanada. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I just butchered the name. Israel Abikanada. They drafted him, I think, in like the 5th round. Now, he's good. But again, Brees is the guy. If they want to win, if they want to get places, I think they do. That's why they brought in Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers in his sunset years. They want to win with Aaron Rodgers, right? They're going to play their best players. They got Garrett Wilson. They got some good weapons, right? Brees is going to run wild if healthy, which I think he's going to be healthy. I think he's going to be good to go. If that's the case, he's a top 5 running back. Bottom line, he's really good. Like, when we're talking talent, we're talking opportunity, given the volume, I mean, it's a no-brainer. So I'm banking on the upside here, while others are banking on ATN to beat him in fantasy points, which is what the mainstream consensus is saying right now, which is ludicrous because Tank Bigsby's better than ATN. Either way, I'm taking Tank Bigsby later as a sleeper running back, and I'm avoiding ATN early on. Give me Breece Hall as a guy that will finish top 5. Now you're saying, well, Joe, he's a top 5 running back. Does that mean I draft him with a top 3 pick? No, he's falling into the 2nd round. And that's where 16 rounds is a differentiator, right? We don't go on consensus ranking. So you're able to get Breece Hall in the 2nd round after you secured another running back, which is one of the other top guys we're going to talk about here potentially, all right? So Breece Hall, got him at number 5. Feel warm and fuzzy about him, okay? Number 2 here. Now, again, this guy, I felt warm and fuzzy about him more last year. The guy I'm talking about was Derrick Henry. I'll tell you my concerns, and I'll tell you why I still have him at the top. Now, the guy last year, 349 attempts, 1,538 yards, 13 touchdowns. The guy got it done, right? He was coming off an injury year before that. You know, at the end of the day, Derrick Henry had a bounce back, and I called it, and I saw it. I knew he was hungry. The guy still is hungry. They got a new quarterback potentially under center with Will Levis. Now, Tannehill should start out the year, but Levis could take over very quickly. Now, Derrick Henry finished 4th last year. I love the attempts, right? The 302 fantasy points last year, 349 attempts. Love that. Okay, this is crucial. Now, the problem is they brought in and drafted a guy in the 3rd round, Tajay Spears, which, again, I'm hearing the coaches are saying that he can be a 3-down workhorse running back on his own. Derrick Henry is getting into his sunset years. I keep saying that word. And maybe they're starting to build up this new Tajay Spears guy, who was, again, workhorse in college. Give you perspective here, 229 attempts, 1,581 yards, 19 touchdowns. This guy got it done. He's 5'10", 190 pounds. So in college, Tajay Spears was the man. So I look at the situation with Derrick Henry, okay? And I say to myself, has he blown his load? Is he done? How many more years does he have left? I would say at least 1 more year, max, at a top level. We're talking 300 attempts. Is this the end of the Derrick Henry era? And if so, am I spending a 1st round pick to pay to watch him go off into the sunset? That's my only concern. Other than that, talent is there, opportunities there. I think he stays healthy. I think the new quarterback gives the team some life. I think the volume will be there. I think Tajay Spears gets his share of work in there. Not too much, though, because, again, if they want to win, they got to play their best player. So Derrick Henry, love him, but still, I liked him a little bit better last year. Tons of upside, yet still making him a top 5 running back, if healthy, and all the stars align, as they usually do for Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, top 5, and you can get him at the end of the 1st round. All right, so decent value. Number 3 here, the number 3 running back. He's going to be higher than where the Chiefs have him because he's outside the top 10, which is ludicrous. The guy I'm talking about is Naji Harris. Now, Naji Harris finished 14th last year. Not the best numbers, I understand, but he finished 3rd in 2021. The Steelers did it, man. They got Broderick Jones, one of the top offensive tackles in the NFL draft, and they drafted him in the 1st round with the 14th pick, improving their O-line. Guys, I cannot express to you how important this is to the significance of Naji Harris. Not only that, they got Darnell Washington at tight end, who can be used as a blocking tight end, improving, beefing up that O-line, making it more solid and secure. And I think they got an O-line guy in like the seventh round as well. Najee, walked away from this draft unscathed. I mean, the guy was untouched. I mean, they believe in Naji Harris, who's heading towards a contract year. Is it a contract year? No, but he's heading towards it. It's his third year. They've got Warren there, Jalen Warren, who sucks. He had 77 attempts last year, but Naji had 272 attempts last year at over 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns on a team that was trying to figure out their identity. Pickens was a rookie. Again, they had the quarterback debacle there. Finally Pickett is the starter, and Najee still managed to get 272 attempts. It's going to go up this year, guys. I'm factoring in at least 5 receiving touchdowns. I'm going to say 10 touchdowns on the ground, 1,200 yards, and 300 plus attempts for Naji Harris, who has to eat this year if they want to succeed. Yes, he lacks a little bit of explosiveness. He looks a little lackluster at times, but sometimes he does look good. So at the end of the day, when you're looking at volume, Najee's the guy, easily can finish top 5, and you can get him in the second round. Absolutely love him, guys. Moving towards a contract year. The offense is settled. Great coaching, improved O-line. Sky is the limit. They've got good receivers, with Pickens and Deontay. Good enough, and their value, too. They're sleepers this year. Good enough to distract the defenses. Najee, love him, okay? Coming in number 2 here. This is a no-brainer. Actually, the two of these two I'm going back and forth on who number 1 is. But number 2, I got Jonathan Taylor. Now, he got hurt last year. I told you to avoid him because he was coming off a pinnacle year where he had 332 attempts. 332 attempts in 2021. 1,800 yards, 18 touchdowns. I mean, the guy crushed it. I said, there's no way he's going to do this again. Decline happening. Go someone else first overall. Sure enough, he busted. The guy is young, and it's a contract year. 24 years old, guys. Contract year. Now, the only knock I have to Jonathan Taylor is his quarterback, Anthony Richardson, who ran over 103 times, 654 attempts, 654 yards, 9 touchdowns in college in his last year. Richardson is a running back in his own right. He's a big guy. He's like 6'4", 230, 40 pounds, whatever he is. He's a big guy. So we've got a quarterback now, if he gets a start, which I think he should, or not even start, he's going to eventually, play this season, is the rookie Anthony Richardson. I'm excited for him, but it may hinder a little bit of the rushing goal line work for Jonathan Taylor. That's my only real concern. But at the end of the day, it might actually help him because they're going to rely on Taylor for the run, for the blocking, and that type of thing. So he's going to be out there a lot more, and that's the bottom line. He's going to be out there for 90+% more of the snap. He's going to be out there a lot. So Jonathan Taylor is going to get the volume. If healthy, this is easily a top 5 running back in a contract year. I want to keep, hammering that point in. Contract year, bounce back year from last year. He had a down year, played 11 games, 192 attempts. Still 192 attempts with 11 games and 4 touchdowns on the ground, 861 yards. Not bad for a guy who played 11 games. No way but up for Jonathan Taylor in a contract year, if you guys didn't hear that part, right? Love the upside here, okay? Secure, solid running back in a fantasy world where secure, solid running backs isn't even a word, where the committees have become more abundant. Jonathan Taylor is a saving grace in the first round, okay? And number 1 here, it is a risk, it is a gamble, but that gamble has a ton of upside, and I'm wearing the hat. And again, you guys can secure this signed helmet by Jan Robinson, a.k.a. Bijan Robinson, however we want to pronounce it. The right way is Bijan. If you want to buy Jan signed helmet and a sports card, get the 16-round draft. So not only will you win your leagues, but you also have a chance to win this amazing swag by my number 1 fantasy football running back, by Jan Robinson. And get the 16-round draft solution. Dominate your league, okay? So you'll know where to draft these players optimally and make sure you have an optimal roster. Use the code SMASH and a chance to win a signed by Jan helmet. So my number 1 is by Jan Robinson. Love him. Now, Algier had 201, just to give you perspective here. Algier had 210 attempts last year. He's still there. He's not going to be the main guy. We got Patterson at 144 attempts. That's definitely going down. And they had other guys there. I think they had 76 attempts and a couple other guys. Either way, there's at least there's like 400 plus attempts to be had. Never mind, this guy is a receiving back. They said they're going to use him in the receiving game. 6 foot, 215, speed, vision, patience, explosiveness, amazing catching ability. Very high draft capital. They invested in him. They got him first round, 8th overall. The guy had 258 attempts in college last year, 1,580 yards, 6.1 yards per carry, 18 touchdowns, 19 receptions for 314 yards and a couple of receiving touchdowns. This guy is a workhorse. He's a beast. He's explosive. He's ultra talented. He's a good guy. I like Bijan Robinson a lot as the first overall pick. Bottom line. Now you're saying to yourself, Joe, where is Eckler? I don't care. He's not a workhorse running back. If you come into the league as a backup, you'll always be a backup. He was backup to Melvin Gordon for 2 years, was lucky in a situation with the Chargers where he got a lot of checkdowns. I'm going to keep saying this so people can hammer it home. He got lucky. The stars aligned for Eckler. He's not a great running back. And the Chargers aren't paying him. Other teams don't want him. They don't want a 28-year-old running back who is a backup to Melvin Gordon, right? I'm not drafting him in fantasy. If the Chargers don't believe in him, I don't believe in him. I'm going for where the youth is, where the upside is, where the contract years are, where the volume are, and these 5 guys have it. Christian McCaffrey will get hurt. I'm telling you right now, you can't predict injuries. Well, I'm telling you, there's a lot of history, a lot of signs pointing, red flag, I'm wearing a red hat, red flags, waving, saying Christian McCaffrey only played 10 games in 2020 and 2021. The signs are there. And in 2022, he blew his load, literally. There's nothing left. He's on a team where running backs get hurt all the time. It's kind of like a thing in San Fran. I'm avoiding Christian McCaffrey. I'm avoiding Austin Eckler. Give me a Jonathan Taylor and a Bijan at picks 1 and 2. If I'm picking first overall, I'm going running back, and I'm going Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor. You could take them in each order. Those guys are going to crush it this year. Love the upside, love the opportunity, love the youth, love the talent, love the explosiveness. This is exciting stuff. Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, not that exciting. It's up to you guys to make the decision, all right? So, Breece Hall, Derrick Henry, Naji Harris, Jonathan Taylor, and number 1, Bijan, a.k.a. Bijan Robinson, at number 1. So, Breece Hall, Derrick Henry, Naji, Jonathan Taylor, and Bijan. You got it? Okay, very simple. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. Get the 60-round draft solution. Rankings don't really help you. This is for entertainment purposes. But if I were to draft in regards to which running backs I get in that order, it would be these guys. Love the upside. And again, don't go Breece Hall as your 5th pick because I said he's a top 5 running back. Get him at his ADP, guys, in the 2nd round. And that's what I explained in 16 rounds. Secure the solution. Use code SMASH. Smash a thumbs up and drop a comment below. Which running backs do you love this year? I'm out, guys. Appreciate ya. I'm going to keep the content rolling. I'm out.